Welcome to this episode of the She Scales podcast. I felt called to speak on this today, so I don't know who this message is for. This is literally just dropped into my realm, my sphere of awareness, and so somebody needs to hear this message today. So if this is for you, sit down, enjoy this completely freestyled, but I feel called to speak on this today. And so I wanted to remind you that all of your efforts are always compounding. Everything that you're doing, every action that you take, every time you put yourself forward, every time you post on social media, every conversation that you have, everything you do is always compounding. And so I know it can feel frustrating sometimes when you're not yet seeing the success that you want, but all of your efforts are compounding. They're all going in the right direction. And every new thing that you do is a learning. It's another building block on top of the foundations that you've already been laying. And sure, sometimes you're going to realize that you've built a wall in the wrong place, or that you were slightly off where you were originally supposed to build, or maybe you've got a whole extra room on the house that wasn't intended and it was a little bit off plan. Still, sometimes these things happen because you're doing something you've never done before. You are doing something you have never done before. And I'm going to take this one step further and say, you are doing something that nobody in your lineage has ever done before. Let that sink in a second. No female in your lineage has ever had the opportunity that you have. So give yourself some grace for the fact that you're not just doing something that's new to you, you're doing something that is new to like our generation, our world, our globe. Nobody before us has had the opportunity. Women before us could barely even start their own business, let alone work online, travel the world and bring in unlimited amounts of income. Only 2 generations ago, not even fully that, I think it was the 1960s, women couldn't even go to the pub. You could not be a woman at the bar and order your own drink. And that was, oh my God, I was about to say that was 50 years ago. Where has the time gone? What do you mean we're not in 2010? Oh my, the 1960s was 70 years ago. Wait, what year are we in? Okay, 60 years ago. Whew, even so, crazy. That's just thrown me right off track. But yeah, women couldn't order themselves a drink in the 1960s. In the 1980s, I think it was, you can tell that I was doing some research recently, but women couldn't get a business loan without having a man sign for it. So can you just give yourself some credit when you're feeling like, oh my God, this feels hard, or it feels unfamiliar, or I'm in uncharted territory before, or I wish I just had someone to ask. Keep in mind, the reason why there's so few people to ask is that nobody before our generation has had this opportunity. In our lifetime, the internet was created. Prior to that, if you were a woman, you had to get your husband to sign for you to open a business. Like, how fucking wild is that? It seems so crazy because of the opportunities that we now have in this generation. So, firstly, just give yourself some credit, Just let that sink in. You are literally trailblazing a whole new path for everyone that comes after you. You are the trailblazer. You are the one that is creating this path. You are going first. So yes, it's going to be daunting and scary and frustrating, and you're going to get a little bit lost sometimes, but that's because you are creating the path. Nobody has put this path in front of you. You've seen other people walking their own path, but you are creating this path in your lifetime for all the people after you, in your lineage, in your family. You are creating this path. So yes, it's going to look like walking boldly into the forest and having to chop down grass, and you're going to get a little bit lost, and it's going to be hard because whoever is the one that goes first is always the one that had it harder, because everybody that just gets to be a follower can just tread on the grass that has already been chopped down. So yes, you are making it easier for everyone that comes after you. What an honor that you are the one that gets to go first. So keep chopping, my girl. And what was the other thing that I wanted to mention on that? Oh, the fact that not only are you the one going first, but with this working online, there is no limit to your capabilities, to the opportunity in front of you. So let that not be something that overwhelms you. Let that be something that, blasts the dam right open, blasts the door right open. There is no limit to what is possible. No freaking limits. How freaking exciting. So please keep that in mind when there are things, because this is entrepreneurship. There's going to be days where it's harder. If it was easy, everyone would do it. So yes, there's going to be days when it's harder, but know that all of your efforts are compounding. Every easy day is compounding. Every harder day is compounding. Every win is compounding. Every failure is compounding. And if you've been to my main character energy event, you'll know it's not failure, it's feedback. It's all lessons. And so one of the reasons that I wanted to bring this to you today is that I had a conversation earlier on this week I can't even remember whose post it was, but the post said, if you are 0 to 3 years in business, ask a question. And if you're 3 years plus in business, can you answer the question? I thought, what a great way for people to just get information. And so I saw someone's question that said, I have been doing all of the things that the digital sales experts told me to do. I have launched this product and it's not been the crazy success that I thought it would be. Do I give up now? Or something, words to that effect. And so I replied to this person and said no. I said, all of your efforts are compounding. Every time, if this is your first launch, incredible. Because now you've got a product and you've got feedback from how that launch went. So whilst I don't know you, I don't know the product, I don't know anything about your business, what I do know is that you've got results that you can measure and you can improve for next time. So was it a case of, and I just asked a load of questions for her to go away and think. I said, did you give your audience enough notice before releasing this thing so that there was a good warm-up period before your open sales period? Did you build your email list before releasing it? Did you build hype through your content on social media? Did you build relationships with your audience before it going live? So I asked about 5 or 6 questions for her to go away and think. And she was really, really grateful. And I said, thank you for all of this. I did start building my email list, but I don't think I did it enough. And I'm like, well, there you go. There's some evidence that you can use for next time. And so there's always more to be learned and improved. And I wanted to share this with you so that you can really realize that all of your efforts are compounding, because now that I'm in year 3 of business, I get to see it now. I really, really get to see it, because not only is your continued effort, without it being one singular thing, the fact that you continue showing up and people see that, they notice that, because so many people don't. Part of success in entrepreneurship is actually just being resilient enough to stay the course, because so many people aren't. So many people quit before they have time for success to sink in. You will be successful if you stay the course and you learn from your mistakes. School taught us that there is only one way to solve a problem. It would be, here's the problem. Now, how do you figure it out? There's one way to figure it out. So you're either right or you're wrong. And that's how our assessment system was built. You've either got a tick next to it because you got the answer right, or you've got a big fat cross because you got it wrong. And there's only one right or wrong answer. And that's how we were all brought up. Entrepreneurship is not like that. There is no right way to build a business. There is no one way to build a business. There's hundreds of ways to build a business. So it's not that there's any correct way and everyone is doing their own thing. And so you actually just need to stay the course long enough to figure out what is best for you. Yes, pay attention to key parts of strategy and, business models that are built to scale. Recurring revenue that can support you as you are fine-tuning the things that really make you feel good or really work for you, your audience. But overall, your efforts are compounding. But in the beginning, if you've seen the curve of, the compounding interest line, in the beginning, it takes a fucking long time and you get practically nada back from it. So you're like, is it working? I don't know if this is working. And that, when you don't have a lot of evidence that it's working, is when your mindset will be trying to tell you that it's not. Because that curve hasn't started really curving yet. It's just a little bit consistent. Maybe it's even a little bit wavy. And you're like, is this working? I don't know if this is working. But it's because you're too early to be able to be seeing the results from your compounding action, or not taking enough action for you to have enough results to be compounding. So there's that. Take more action. The more action you take, the more feedback you're going to get. There we go. But also stay the course long enough so that you can really, really learn. You can start to see the results of what are your launches telling you? What could be improved with your offers? What is your audience telling you? What is your relationship to the way that you create content telling you? What feedback are you getting from the platforms that you use? What works best for you? There's so much data out there, and it will all be completely personal to you. So no one can tell you what is the right or wrong way to do business, because the only right way is your way. So you just have to keep putting in enough effort that your actions and behavior give you enough feedback back, and that then starts to compound, so that as you learn the things that you don't like or the things that aren't working, and you can start to do less of those things, so that more of your actions and behaviors are in the direction of things that you like and or are successful, then of course you're going to see more results going in the way that you want them to go. And so that line of compounding interest will start to curve up. And that's why when it gets to sort of year 2, year 3, then everything you do starts to compound, rather than it being, 30% of your actions are going in the right, or maybe in the beginning, maybe only 10% of your actions are going on the right thing. But by year 2 and year 3, going into year 4, then it gets far more aligned. And you're learning what's working for you and what's working for your clients and what's working for your business. And so each of your actions then, maybe it's more like 60% of your actions are all in line, and there's only a little bit of room for trial and error. Maybe 80% of your actions are always paying off, because every time you post, your audience is growing. Every time you post, you get new clients. And that's how it gets to be. But you have to go through the weeds of figuring it out first. So I wanted to just share this little motivational talk so that you can stay the course long enough to see the results and to reap the rewards from the seeds that you've been sowing. Yeah, you are always going in the right direction. Maybe you wander a little bit off course sometimes, but you are always going in the right direction. So I wanted to share this little motivational pep talk with you. Keep going. Success leaves clues. All of your efforts are compounding. And so whether you feel like, yes, I know that if I continue on this course, I will be wildly successful. Incredible. But if you don't have that feeling right now, get inside communities where successful people are hanging out. Get yourself around women who are building things, whether they're building memberships, whether they're building group programs, whether they're building online courses. They are building things that can scale. They are taking the time to build the foundations of their business solidly, because they know that it only actually takes one good offer to be able to scale rapidly. So, success leaves clues. Get yourself inside communities where other women are scaling. If that is your priority, which I'm going to assume it is, given that you're listening to this podcast, get yourself inside communities where women are taking action, they're leaning in, they're supporting each other, they're cheering each other on, they're asking questions, they're inviting feedback for either their launches, their offers, their content, where women are leaning in for support and then going away, taking more action and coming back with their own feedback and results and refining that and scaling further. Whoosh! I hope that you've enjoyed this short and snappy one today. Take this with you. I'm recording this on the Monday that it is going live. Tomorrow, I catch a flight to LA. I don't know why I say it like that. LA. Maybe it's just to process it in my mind a little bit. Crazy. Tomorrow, I take a flight to LA, which absolutely blows my mind. I'm part trying to play it cool, we're just getting a flight to LA. Part of the business things, going to go to a business retreat, meet a lot of other cool people. We'll create some cool content. We're going to learn some cool shit, and the business will grow because of it. That's how business owner Sarah is processing this. She's playing it super cool. My inner child is like, holy fuck, we are going to America. You're going to see two different versions of me throughout this trip. You're going to see cool, calm, collected, demure, like, bitch, we did this. You're also going to see kid at Christmas running around doing cartwheels around this mansion in Beverly Hills. There's going to be the duality. You get to be both. Because going back to this episode, I have absolutely been in the place where I was like, is this all working? It feels like it kind of is, but I'm not seeing the results. Or I wish I had more feedback. You know, I'm posting, but are things coming of it? I've 100% been in that place. So I'm sharing this with you because now, being 3 years in, and now I get to enjoy more of my efforts compounding, and I get to enjoy that more regularly and really see the results of that. But if I had quit when it was hard, or when I wasn't seeing as much results or feedback, I would have never got to this place. Now, I learn far quicker. I pay attention to what's working and can dial the volume up on those things. I pay attention to what's not working and I can turn the volume down or stop doing those things quicker. You know, my attention to detail, my ability to move quick, my ability to make decisions that I know are going to work for the business are far, far better because of the periods where there wasn't a lot of feedback. So wherever you are in your compounding curve, keep going. Because on this journey, it does get easier. All of your efforts are compounding. And when you hit that curve and you're in flow season and you're like, oh my God, it does get to be easier. It really, really does. And so I'm sharing this with you. Happy Monday if you're listening to this on a Monday, but regardless, whatever time of week it is, if you needed to hear this today, please message me on either Insta or LinkedIn if this resonated with you today and you needed a little pep talk and a little spring in your step. And I'd love to know where you are in your journey. Are you someone that has hit the curve and you're like, finally, gets to feel amazing? Or are you someone that is still in the, I feel like things are working, but I don't have a huge amount of evidence of it yet? It is always working. It is always working. And just because you can't see the results, know that it is. Because people are always watching. Your brand is always growing. The more that you continue to post, the more that you continue to show up, the more that you continue to go live, the more that you continue to work with people, the more you continue to get results for people. People notice that. And so even if you don't feel like the results are there yet, the efforts that you are putting in are compounding. People are watching, people are noticing. And you'll notice that as you get further into your journey, the fact that you've carried on, showing up, doing the thing, learning, building your brand, becoming an icon, you will start to get people noticing you and moving differently around you. You know, how they interact with you and your brand. Maybe it's reaching out to you for opportunities. Maybe it's seeking your opinion as an expert in your niche. Maybe it's inviting you to something that 2 years ago you wouldn't have even known existed, let alone being invited to speak as part of. So these opportunities are always out there. They're swimming around in the ether. All you need to do is stay the course long enough to be seen as a credible expert in your niche, and these things will start happening for you. So stay the course. Keep going, my girl. I know this has been a little bit less of a strategic podcast episode. It's not like you're taking notes, but sometimes we just need a bit of a spring in our step and to remind us that everything that you're doing is always working out for you. There is no right or wrong way of doing things. There is just your way of doing things. And all of your efforts are working together. You just can't see the results of them just yet. Or maybe you can. Maybe you're like, no, I can feel it. There's an energy around the business. And I don't necessarily need to see the metric feedback of that, in like a massive following or really high engagement rate or like my inbox flooded with DMs or like clients flocking in. But I know that these things are working. And if you are seeing those things, Woo! This is your celebration party. You now know that all of your efforts are compounding. You have been through the chopping down the weeds bit. You've been the one that walked first. You have trailblazed the path for others behind you. And this now gives you the ability to make their lives even easier because you've already gone first. You can show them the way because you created it. So whether it's you creating your own course, you creating your own program, you being the trailblazer for people after you. Like, it gets to be this good. And so I wanted to leave this with you. I hope you have an incredible day, incredible week. If you're not already following me on Insta, I assume most of you are. But if you're not following me on Insta, come follow me there because I'm going to be keeping you up to date with everything that happens on this LA trip, which is a result of my effort compounding that I just never would have even expected, imagined. Like, if this is not a sign that your main character energy can take you fucking places. I'm a girl from a small town called Aldridge that nobody's ever heard of because nothing important ever happens in Aldridge. And I'm about to be going to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You can hear the little girl in me absolutely not playing it cool whatsoever. So, leaving you with this, I hope you have an incredible day, incredible week. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. And if you needed to hear this today, drop me a message on Insta or LinkedIn with what it was that resonated for you. And I shall see you inside the next episode.